We're here with Vijay Govindarajan, and the book's called Other Side of Innovation. Vijay, what's the number one problem when a company's really excited and we're like, oh, we've got this really sexy idea, let's get it out there, and we get to that, we have the vision. Where's that main stumbling block?
I think the biggest stumbling block is creating a team as though it is a startup. That means recruiting people from the outside, creating a different culture, different system, different process, different capabilities. Most of the existing organizations do not like to create that different organization. So creating the different organization is probably the number one stumbling block.
Is it the fact that you have to bring in people from outside of the company in, or could you just division off a little section of your own company, say, you 4 or 5, you are now the dedicated team, or what's?
I think most companies do what you're talking about, which is carve out a small part of your organization, so you are now the dedicated team.
Right.
Even if you create a separate space for them, they will not behave differently because it's the same people with the same mindset. So in my experience, at least 1 in 4 people have to come from the outside. So at least 25% of the staff in the dedicated team has to be from the outside, because outsiders challenge conventional wisdom. They challenge current ways of operation, and also they bring new skills, because innovation by definition requires some new skills. So it can't exist within your organization.
What about playing with this? So you bring in someone new, and there's a lot of ego attached with it. Like if I come up with the idea, I'm the hero because, oh, Philippe, you brought in the idea. How do you deal with it when once you are implementing, you have, your grunts, your peons, like the people that are just slaving away, doing executing on it. How do you make them feel good when all the glory is coming to the person with the idea?
Incidentally, that is probably the single most important job of the CEO, is to make sure that the core business is not slighted, because the core business is the foundation of the company. Innovation is simply a bet for the future. Therefore, it's the CEO's job to keep on emphasizing the core business is just as important as the innovation experiment. And if you can somehow articulate that and behave in that fashion, then that animosity is not going to happen. If you don't do that, that animosity is natural. And when that happens, then there is a fight between the core business and the innovation team. That fight will essentially ruin any chance for the innovation to succeed.
So the shared team is saying, you know what, we've got our duties with the regular company. This is we're not sure if this is going to succeed or not.
Exactly. Exactly.
Is there a good example that right now that of a company that is executing well, that has understood how to get that division in teams?
If I were to pick a company, it'll be Infosys, which is a company in India which makes custom software. And that's where they started. But then in the last 10 years, they've done a number of innovations where they've created a dedicated team which works in partnership with the software business. And because after all, the dedicated team, like they created a consulting business, which is different from the software business. But the consulting business draws upon the same customer that the software business was dealing with. So there is a share in terms of customer relationship. That sharing creates conflicts and tensions. That's what the CEO is there to manage.
Right. Thank you, Vijay.
Thank you.